Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at Bill C-21, an act to amend certain acts to make certain consequential amendments to firearms. Can these people not actually write in proper English? Like, seriously. So, a YouTuber got onto my Canadian air gun laws video about our laws in Canada regarding PAL and non-PAL guns and all this jazz. Anyways, he asked me to take a look at Bill C-21 and to do a video explaining it in relation to replica air guns. Okay, so I thought, all right, I can do that, because to go through this entire thing, which doesn't even apply to anybody with air guns other than this one section, yeah, forget it. I'm not into PAL rated guns or regular firearms, so I'm into all the non-PAL stuff. However, your PAL rated replicas are also affected. So listen up. The title reads, ensure mid-velocity replica firearms are prohibited. Okay? So mid-velocity means under 500 feet per second. Okay? Update the criminal code to ensure that any device, including an unregulated air gun, that looks exactly like a conventional regulated firearm, i.e. that shoots over 500 feet per second, is prohibited for the purpose of import, export, sales, and transfer. Okay, let's stop there first. When they're talking about any device, they're also including replica guns that shoot water balls. As you guys know, I have one of these things. I won it from another YouTube channel. It's kind of cool, actually. You soak these little tiny things in water for about 2 hours. They grow up and turn into balls, and they're big too. And you load them in the back of what looks like a bullet shell, because it's a replica gun, and it has its own little self-contained air chamber, and you cock the gun and fire. Okay, it's only single action, but hey, whatever, it works. That's on the list to be kiboshed. Airsoft guns, paintball guns, if they're a replica of a real gun, they're gone. Okay. All pellet guns and BB guns that are under 500 feet per second that are replicas are gone. And that also will include all over 500 feet per second replica air guns. There are many replica air guns that are out there, mainly rifles, because I haven't personally seen any pistols that are over 500 feet per second that are replicas. But as far as replicas go, there are many rifles out there that are replicas that are over 500 feet per second. But these are, of course, regulated, because they do say that looks exactly like a conventional regulated firearm that shoots over 500 feet per second. So they've covered it. Okay, so they are definitely including under and over 500 feet per second air guns that represent exactly to a conventional regulated firearm. Okay, now they don't care about the magazines and how they're loaded, or the clips and how they're loaded. They're caring about, does it look exactly like the real thing in the real world? Does it look exactly the part? If it does, it is gone. And that means there are a lot of air guns that are definitely going bye-bye. All right. However, there's good news here. Current owners may keep their replicas, but cannot transfer them to anyone else. Okay? So no importing, no exporting, no sales, no trading. Zippo. Done. So you can keep them till the day you die. And then when you do, they go to whoever's in your will. Nope, they're supposed to actually be destroyed at that point. But they don't get into that kind of a detail, because I guess they didn't think that one through as far as inheritance goes. But whatever. They do kind of really cover that, because they do say that it's you, the owner, that's the current owner. You can keep them, but they can't be transferred to anyone else. So that means you cannot will your guns to a family member, okay? Be it your kids, your spouse, whatever, okay? Long relatives. You cannot will them, you cannot transfer them, you cannot give them away. Zippo. You're stuck with them. When you die, that's it. They must be destroyed. All right, is basically what they're saying here. Okay? No further replica firearms could be imported into, okay, So imported into Canada, brought in, or sold in Canada, or transferred, i.e. trading as well, in Canada. This amendment does not affect other types of air guns that do not exactly replicate a conventional regulated firearm. Okay, so in the whole of this, whether it's an over or under 500 feet per second air gun does not matter. Does not matter the type of ammunition that it fires, be it water balls, airsoft, paintball, pellet, BB, okay? Does not matter. If the gun exists in the real world as a firearm in the real world, okay, that normally would shoot bullets, okay, or it's over 500 feet per second already and shoots any types of ammo, it's over 500 feet per second, and it is a replica of something that is a normal, conventional, regulated firearm, it is going to be gone. But if you currently own these replicas, you are going to be allowed to keep them. It is not a problem. They're not coming to knock on your door at 3 a.m. and bust your buns and take away your toys. Okay? They're leaving you alone. Okay? So, there is some good sides to this. The sucky side is once the law is in effect, that's it. I kind of wonder what's going to happen to the air gun places that actually sell replica guns, you know, because their selection is going to really suck, okay? Now, in case you're unaware of what a replica gun is because you're kind of new into this, you've just heard about replica guns, I'm going to give you a couple of examples here of what replica guns are, okay? Now, this one, if you look up, come on, load the page. I have slow internet, sorry guys. But the Legends M1A1 Full Auto, if it does exist in the real world, which it likely does because this is a replica, okay, then guess what? It's going to be gonzoed, right? Let's see if we can get into the next page before that one actually decides to load. Revolvers. Oh, my internet is so slugged. I can't believe this. Oh, this makes for a longer video and I hate this. It's like waiting for like the end of the world here. There we go. Okay, so the Colt Peacemaker Single Action Army. I happen to own this one. I have the pellet version because the BB version sucks. Now, the pellet version, of course, or BB version, doesn't matter. It's the same gun. Just one shoots pellets, one shoots BBs. That is a replica gun. And a replica is a shell loader. Because you'll notice this Crosman SNR357 snub nose. It has what looks like bullets, but they also show that, you know, you're loading pellets, right? In the back side or the front side. Well, it shoots pellets and BBs. So rubber nose on the front means BB loading. And in the back side is where you put your pellets. It's a dual ammo gun. But because this is a shell loader, it looks the part, okay? But it's not based on shell loader technology in itself. It's based on the fact is, does it look like a real gun? Now, to me, the Vigilante and the Triple Threat Crosman 357s, I'm sorry, they don't look like real guns to me, okay? But if the government considers that they do, then they will no longer be available, okay? But I can guarantee you that any of these top three guns, and the 1875, the Webley Mark 6, the 714, they are definitely on the hit list. They will be gone because all of these exist in the real world, okay? If you want to go into blowback action type guns, the M17 blowback, this is a nice Sig Sauer gun. That in the real world, I have personally compared them side by side on the websites. And yeah, you can't tell them apart. So guess what? It's gone. Any of the Sig Sauers are definitely going to be gone. Okay, so yeah, great. They get into doing pellet guns, and only a few years later, guess what? Now they can't make pellet guns anymore for Canada. But in the U.S., sure. Makes you almost want to pack up your bags and leave Canada, doesn't it? because at least in the US they have no speed laws to worry about or any of that jazz that we do in Canada. However, that is going to be changing because, you know, President Biden is cracking down on gun laws in the US. So you can bet things are going to change. There are actually some US states, by the way, that do have regulations on air guns, so it's not the entire of the US that is free to do what they want, okay? But here in Canada, things work differently. So in Canada, of course, if it looks like an exact look of a conventional regulated firearm, regardless of its speed, regardless of what ammo it shoots, it is on the chopping block, okay? But once again, your good news is if you already own these replicas or some of these replicas, you'll be able to keep them. So here's my advice. I don't know when this bill is going to be passed into full law. Nobody does at this point, okay? However, I would say that if you want any replica guns, you don't have any, or you have some but you want more, get them now. Because once the law is passed, they're gone. Get your parts from any companies that have parts for repair parts. Get the parts that you know are commonly going to go down. Especially in air guns, valves are always an issue, okay? Valve stems, valve seals, these are issues that happen in air guns. It's a natural part of that gun that breaks down. There are some other parts in guns that will break down more commonly than other guns. Also get those spare parts. Every spare part that you can possibly think of that could be a problem area in that gun, get it, okay? Because I don't know if we're going to be able to continue to get repair parts. It doesn't say anything about, you know, they're taking away parts access to us. It's just talking about the guns themselves. Okay, now I will say this. To avoid you being able to piece together one, I will tell you that you will not be able to get enough parts to actually make a fully assembled gun. Okay, once this law has been made law, the companies will not be selling you the parts that would actually complete it. So basically your receivers will not be available, okay? You may not even get availability to a cylinder. It's hard to say, okay? But if it's, they will not provide you with enough parts access to completely assemble a functional gun, because that would be a way of illegal importation of a gun, and that could get that country into a lot of hot water. So they will probably limit what parts you will be able to get and what parts you will not be able to get once the law kicks in. Right now, if they have full out parts for everything to even assemble one, yes, you will be able to do it right now, but you will not be able to have that capability once this law is passed. So that will be something to consider. Because I know even Crossman, I was looking at a particular gun. I wanted to get the receivers replaced, and the one side is available, the other side is discontinued. So there's not even enough parts to reassemble the gun with brand new parts. So I'm kind of like, well, this sucks, you know. So they're already discontinuing the most critical components that would allow you to make the gun functional. It's like, yeah, but it's still a current selling gun, but the parts access, there's fewer and fewer parts that they're actually keeping now, okay, for availability. But pertinent parts that would definitely be breakdown issues, they do actually supply for the majority of their guns, so you're okay that way. So anyways, enjoy things, and enjoy purchasing your replica air guns while you can, because it will soon end. As far as the rest of the C-21 bill goes, I have nothing to say about it. And I'm not spending 10 hours, because that's probably about what it would take to decipher the rest of this for you guys. But that's up to you people who own regular firearms to worry about. This is the only section that is pertinent to the air gunning community. This is the community that I'm addressing in this area, and that's exactly what it is saying. So if you kind of missed half the stuff I just said, replay my video and listen carefully at every word I say, okay? It's very important for you to understand your rights in this, and they do give you your rights, and they give you the options that are there, okay, and what's going to happen. The hard part was to decide what the any device was. And when you sit down and you think about it realistically, it is covering any kind of gun, regardless of the ammunition type, regardless of being a over or under 500 feet per second. The bottom line here, if your air gun looks exactly like a conventional firearm that is available, that's normally a regulated firearm, that's what they're coming after, okay? And that does take in apart, yes, paintball guns, airsoft, as well as the water ball guns, and any other gun that looks like a real gun in the real world, shooting whatever ammo it shoots. This is what they're going after. Anything that's a replica gun, okay, of a real thing. And it doesn't matter what the speed is. So there you go. Take it for what you will. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And please be polite in your language as well on my channel. I frown very highly on certain swear words, so just keep it polite, period, and we won't have to even try and tell you what words you can and can't use. That's all I ask. I'm trying to keep my channel clean, so anyways, and if you do have questions regarding the air gun laws in Canada for speed, I do have 2 separate videos on that as well, so you can check those out. And I make it very simple for you to understand what the regulations are and what they're about. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be sure to catch you on the next one. See ya.